Hi everyone, we're back to day 3 of reading The Island at the End of Everything. So we're still working on our cold task. Today is session 3 and we're looking at these two content domains. So 2C is summarising main ideas from more than one paragraph. So we've got a little bit to Susie the summariser there, and then 2F is to identify and explain how information or narrative content is related and contributes to meaning as a whole. So basically, in simple terms, that means just making connections. Right. Once again, we'll begin with looking at the extract. You'll have heard me say this twice already, but I will read it again for you today. There are some places that you would not want to go. Even if I told you that we have oceans clear and blue as summer skies, filled with sea turtles and dolphins, or forest-covered hills lush with birds that call through the air thick with warmth. Even if you knew how beautiful the quiet is here, clean and fresh as a glass bell ringing. But nobody comes here because they want to. For the next paragraph, see if you can read along with me. My nanny told me this is how they brought her, but says it is always the same, no matter who you are or where you come from. From your house, you travel on horse, or by foot, then on a boat. The men who row it cover their noses and mouths with cloths stuffed with herbs so they don't have to share your breath. They will not help you on the boat, although your head aches, and 2 weeks ago your legs began to hurt, then to numb. Maybe you stumble towards them and they duck. They'd rather you rolled over their backs and into the sea than touch you. Again, feel free to pause the video, rewind it so that you can hear me read it again. Alternatively, pause the video and have a go at reading it aloud to yourself if you can. Right then, so in terms of our summary questions, we've got question 1 and question 2. And then question 3 is slightly longer, which is why has the writer told you about her mother's experience? You can see from question 1 and 2 that you've got some tables. So if you're working on a paper pack, it will be a case of doing what you would do if you're in school on the worksheet and just ticking the right boxes or numbering the right boxes in the right order. Now obviously on Teams, sometimes it doesn't allow us to click inside of the text box, but there is going to be a chance for you to be able to put your cursor in underneath, press the enter key a few times to generate some space and then to type in the right answer. So in terms of question 1, which statement is the best summary of the section of the text, you would write the statement that is the best summary of this section of the text. So you've got 3 options. First is the island is a beautiful place to visit. Is that what you think is the best summary? Or do you think that the island is full of people who do not wish to be there is the right summary? Then you would tick that one or write that one below. And finally, the island is surrounded by water. Which is that what you think is the most important part, summarising that extract? Question 2 is to number the following events in the order that they happened. 1 has been done for you. Now take your time on doing this, thinking carefully about the order of that work. Sorry, of the text. Don't know where that word came from, just popped into my head. The second one has been done for you. So although it says 1 has been done for you, it's the second event. So the second event chronologically is that your legs begin to hurt. So you're going to have to work backwards from there, and what came before it will be number 1. And then your other options will obviously come chronologically after your legs beginning to hurt, and you'll have to order those up to 5. So there are 5 boxes and the second one has been identified for you. Then question 3 is a connection, and it's a connection to what's been said in the text, but it's deeper than just, what has been said and how do I connect that to something else. It's you thinking about why the writer has focused so much on the mother's experience. Now there are a few lines for you to write in the paper pack. If you find that's not enough space, then that's absolutely fine for you to grab another piece of paper and to write that on. In terms of if you're working on Teams, you won't be able to write on the lines, but as you start typing, the lines will just move out of the way. Now we expect here your answer to be structured grammatically, like a year 6, and also to be a good amount of writing, so that it's not just a quick sentence. We expect a little paragraph as it's indicated by 3 lines. So let's go through the answers to each of the questions, starting with question 1. Which statement is the best summary of this section of the text? Because this section of the text is all about the despair that the people who are brought to the island feel and how they are brought there, and that indicates that it's not really their own choice, the best summary is that the island is full of people who do not wish to be there. Yes, the island is a beautiful place to visit, and I can see why you may have wanted to tick this one, but the most important message that is communicated through this extract is that the people do not want to be there. And that starts with the first line that says, nobody comes to the island because they want to. So that's why that one is the right answer and not the other ones. Question 2. Let's look at the events in the order that they happened. Now, remember that the writer's nanny has told the writer how she was brought to the island and says that it's always the same. So from personal experience, then she is able to then talk about that. So in terms of the events of what might happen to the writer's legs would then begin to hurt, but the writer is telling you that then your legs would begin to hurt, and that's why that is the second point. The third point is that after that you are then told that you are given 3 options of travel to get to the island, by boat, by horse or by foot. Then we learn that as you get to the boat, the men on it cover their noses. And then finally the last thing that happens is that the boat sets sail to the island. So as you can see, each of those numbers in the side to check against your answers. And then finally, why has the writer told you about her mother's experience? They've done this so that you question whether or not it will also happen to the narrator, whether it will happen in the future or whether it has already happened. We know that it hasn't happened to this specific person because they were told about it. It's not for certain because it might be that the child can't remember themselves how they brought there. So we massively infer that it's not happened to the writer themselves. It also makes you question why any of this happens to the writer's mother. Why is this going on? Why is this happening to other people? Why are people having to be brought there? How long has it been happening if it has always been the case? Hopefully, you did a really good job at that. And I will see you tomorrow for the final part of the called task, which will be based on inference.